One of the greatest American music icons of all time is the focus of a new podcast. It takes listeners through the life of Prince, from his influence on music, culture, and fashion to the lasting impact he left on the world.
The podcast is called The Prince Mixtape, and it's hosted by Nicole Perkins, who joins us now. Nicole, thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about, gosh, I feel like, we've talked so much about Prince since his passing. What have you learned through the course of this podcast that people might not know?
Oh, wow. There's so many different things. I think a lot of people don't realize how funny he was and how much of a prankster he was. And we go into a little bit of that in the show. We've talked to some of his managers or first people that he worked with in the studio and things like that, and learned about the little tricks that they had in order to get Prince to open up on the mic, like creating a bedroom in the studio, which seems very perfect for Prince.
Yeah, we think of him as being this guy who plays all these different instruments extremely well, writes all these different songs. It's surprising to me that he needs outside help to help him find his voice. Why was that, and how did he move from what to what?
Well, he was, I don't know if you could call him shy, but I think he had been, bullied a little bit throughout his childhood because of his stature, because of his name. And so, he had a lot to say, but he wanted to make sure people were receptive and willing to hear it. So I think it just kind of took a little nudging to get that out of him. And he was still a human being despite his
Right.
rock god icon status that we have. And so he still needed a little push every now and then. And we talked to the legend Patrice Rushen in a recent episode, and she talks about how Prince came to her just before Purple Rain dropped and admitted he was a little nervous that maybe he had bitten off too much.
Wow.
Yeah, you talk about you interview people that have come in and out of his life, and one of them I thought was interesting was the Marie France, who was the costume designer. Did she come up with that iconic ruffled look for Purple Rain?
Yeah, so Prince already kind of had that style already,
Yeah.
of course, that flair, but she knew that she wanted to ramp it up a little bit and exaggerate it and make sure it really popped on screen. So she went and found the shirt and added a little bit more dazzle to his costume. And that is how we end up with that iconic look that you can recognize anywhere. Every Halloween, you can see a Prince.
Yeah.
What was his view of Michael Jackson? Did they interact a lot?
No, I don't believe they interacted a lot, but according to Chris Moon, who was one of his first producers who helped him cut his first demo, Prince Prince saw Michael Jackson as his target goal. Like, he wanted to be as large as Michael Jackson was at that time. And Michael Jackson had about 10 years in the industry on him, being with the Jacksons and everything. So he knew that he wanted to achieve a certain level that Michael Jackson had. And I don't think that it was necessarily a strict rivalry. It was just an attainable goal for Prince.
It is sad when you think that those two never came together, to record anything. When you think, isn't it now? Do any of your people that you've talked to think, oh gosh, it would be great if Prince collaborated with this person or this person?
Well, I think everybody still, misses him a lot
Yeah.
and wishes there were opportunities to have, heard him with different people. And there is an interview out there with Prince and Chris Rock where Prince talks about how Michael Jackson approached him to be in the Bad video, but Prince decided that it wasn't a good fit for him. So when you think about the idea of Prince being at the beginning of that video, I don't know, that kind of blows your mind to think of them together. But there is also a video of the two of them with James Brown. You can look for that on YouTube, where very early in Prince's career, they get on stage. James Brown brings them on stage, and they show out. So there is a little bit of interaction between them throughout history, but obviously we would love to have had more.
And how and when might we see unreleased tracks in the future?
Oh, well, that's strictly up to the Prince estates. And I believe they're releasing some tracks soon because the anniversary of Prince's birth. I don't think he liked to call it a birthday, but his birthday is coming up. So I think there are going to be some tracks that the Prince estate releases fairly soon, fairly soon.
Well, it's fascinating. Nicole, thanks so much for joining us. It's the Prince Mixtape Podcast, and you can get it anywhere you get your podcast. You can find Nicole on her website and on all the socials. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you